Meeting for Thursday, November 6th, beginning at 6:30. The first on the agenda is for us to call it to order. The second item on our agenda is the approval of minutes from the October 23rd, 2025 meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second. Any
discussion, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Excellent. Oh, right. The next on our agenda is our MRHS student representative, Maggie Powers. Welcome. Sorry about last meeting.
It's okay, no worries. Good to see everybody again. First, I want to thank Dr. Carpenter and Miss Police for sending me an invitation a couple weeks ago to go attend the Massachusetts Association of Student Representative Delegate Assembly at Mass Bay Community College. Very grateful for you guys for allowing me to do that opportunity. It was super fun. I got to meet a lot of new people. Definitely had a great time. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right. So a lot of events, I guess, happening these next couple of weeks. First, the Animal Welfare Club and the Young Women's Club are going to be collecting pet supplies to help support the Purple Leash Project, which helps domestic abuse survivors and their pets escape their homes. They will also be hosting bake sales at Stop and Shop, so be on the look for that. Just a great cause that they're supporting. And then next, the countdown for the Outsiders play has officially started. I think next Friday is the first, or next Thursday is the first date. Yeah, it looks like October 13th, 14th, and 15th, all at 7 p.m. Very exciting show. I'm not going to be there, but I will definitely ask people what it's like, because our fall plays are usually super popular. So I'll have a report on that, but I hope you all get a chance to attend. A couple weeks ago, the class of 2026 held our ice cream fundraiser at Sweet Dreams, so kind of kicked off a lot of class fundraising for the year. So that was nice. Always a great opportunity to get some money in for our senior year. And also the Hope Squad hosted a pickleball tournament to where a percentage of their sales went back to help fund the Hope Squad Club. And I'll probably be talking about the Hope Squad a lot because it seems like they do a lot of great activities. So definitely an exciting event that they do. I think they try to do a couple of pickleball tournaments per year. So then a week before Halloween, on October 24th, the class of 2027 hosted a Halloween movie night showing Hotel Transylvania for elementary schoolers and middle schoolers and Ghostbusters for high schoolers, and it seemed like people had fun. It looked like a fun family event. So again, a lot of great stuff that goes on to help fundraise these classes. Then on Monday, the Spirit Club held their annual student versus staff kickball game to raise money for breast cancer awareness. I think that's like their 4th year doing that. So again, the Spirit Club is another one that does a lot of cool activities. All right. And tomorrow night, the 9th grade class is going to be hosting a fall formal dance for the 8th grade class to kind of welcome them into, I guess, high school. Not really. Kind of a homecoming-esque thing for them. So that'll be fun. Hopefully get some good money for the class of 2030. And we are wrapping up our fall sports season. Field hockey is the only team left standing. I think it was 8-0. Mm-hmm. Yes, 8-0 yesterday, and I think they're playing tomorrow, Elite 8 against Manchester Essex. So that's exciting. Boys soccer made it pretty far too. They, I think, lost 5-0 to Monument Mountain, but also a great season for them and for all of our sports teams. So it's going to be exciting to see what field hockey can do and how winter sports starts. Also, again, field hockey's are ranked number 1 for Division 4. But another cool statistic is that Monomoy Athletics for last sports season had the 3rd best winning percentage for Massachusetts Division 4 teams. So I think that's very, very cool. Our sports teams definitely seem to be doing a lot these past couple of years. All right, so that's pretty much it for me today, but hopefully next time I'll talk more about the play, and field hockey will have won everything, and winter sports will kick off. So thank you guys. Good to see you.
Any questions? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great night. All right. Next on our agenda is public comment. Seeing none, we will move on to reports and discussion. The first item is our Best Buddies Leadership Conference field trip request. So we brought it back tonight. We had heard about it at our last meeting, but brought it back tonight to vote on it. Any discussion? Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the Monomoy Regional Best Buddies Program for their trip to Indiana University.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay. Next on our agenda is the second reading for a couple policies.
I'll make a motion. I'm going to group these together unless anybody wants them separately. All right. I'm going to make a motion that we approve the second reading of policy files IKF, competency determination graduation requirement, and policy BDG, also CHB, school committee review procedures, as presented in the packet.
Second?
Second.
Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right, moving right along to surplus equipment approval.
Good evening, School Committee. Michael McMillan, School Business Manager. I just have a couple of things for approval for declaration of surplus. Should be a handout in your packets. For the first is, I can't remember which order they're in, but it's one vehicle, which is it's no longer roadworthy, and we will really just be selling that for scrap we'll get quotes and get the highest rate. But I think, we've already had one quote, and it was just, lower than $1,000. And then with the phones, we did put them on Municibid, which is like a auction website to sell equipment, but we did not have any bids, so we'll just be looking to recycle those.
Any questions? Do I have a motion? Brad?
I'll make a motion to approve the disposal of surplus equipment, including a passenger vehicle and desk phones, as presented to the school committee.
Second?
Second.
Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Excellent.
All right, thank you very much.
Moving right along to November 10th Professional Development Day offerings.
Good evening, School Committee. Robin Millen, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction and Assessment, has asked to come today to discuss and share some information about our upcoming Professional Development Day, which is our second full Professional Development Day of the school year. But I just first want to hopefully move the thing. Hold on. Oh, I'm going to need you. I want to thank the Professional Development Subcommittee. They are a group of educators that work very hard on providing these opportunities for our educators, and I could not ever put together the platform or the plan that we have in place here at school without them. So I just want to publicly thank Margaret, Una, Jen, Lindsay, who is here, both the Christians, Cindy, who is here, Scott, obviously here, Mackenzie, Sarah, and Caitlin and Parado. There'd be no way we can do this without them. So I just also want to put this into a broader context. So when I came back to Monomoy several years ago in this position, I met with the Monomoy Professional Development Committee, and they had expressed an interest to develop a plan that was year-round, individualized and personalized for our educators. So we put together a pathway program that is available. You can look at it in your spare time on the website. But essentially, it is a pathway program that is updated regularly, thanks a lot to Joy. But when we find high-quality professional development, when we find high-quality courses, series put on by DESE or other professional development organizations, We place them up on the website for our educators to look and use as a resource when they're looking to expand their professional learning series. It's great because it offers them opportunity to look into areas of need. Each educator in the state of Massachusetts has to complete an individual professional development plan. So when they're looking for something, it can sometimes be overwhelming, and there's so many different things out there. So this is a go-to place where they can find some really good resources. The other thing that's good about this is everything that's up there is tied directly to our strategic plan. So, and they can find things that really focus on what our initiatives are at this moment in time. So again, you can go look at the different opportunities. They update regularly. One thing that I do want to note is the other thing that came up when I came back is we started offering some innovation type of professional development, and one of them is our seasonal book club. So I'll give an example. This summer, we ran a summer book club thanks to Lindsay Hooper. She facilitated and organized it. We read a series of fictional books. We had about 35 educators participate. And when we got back to school, well, actually, all those individual clubs met over the summer, and they held their own clubs. So some of them were baking pies because that was the setting of the book. Some of them were researching settings, Dr. Carpenter over there, and some of them were just talking about the characters and the plots of the books. When we came back to school in the fall, we all met. Each group picked a character from the book, and we walked that character through like a success and challenges protocol to say if that character was a caregiver in our community, if they were a student in this community, if they were a community member in our community, how would we at Monomoy best service them? And how would we support their needs? So they came up with an acceleration and intervention plan, and then identified some wraparound services to make sure that character, if they were actually students, caregivers, or community members in our community, would be successful and remove the barriers for them. So it was a great opportunity. It was a lot of discussion. I had a conversation with DY Superintendent Mark Smith the other day and told him about that program. And he's like, wait, that's really cool. Let's do that. And so I said, we'd be happy to invite you over next time we do it. So we're going to do that again in the fall. We'll be inviting DY teachers to join us, and we'll try to expand these opportunities, both for the Monomoy educators and beyond. So before I go to the strategic plan for actually November 10th, I will ask you to kind of strum through your materials there. There's a professional development catalog that should be in your packet as well. And I think, yes, can you open that for me? Thank you. If you look at this catalog, this is the catalog that is sent out to our educators for November 10th. And if you see that first page, you see every educator that is invited to that day. All of our Unit A staff reports to that day, as well as our administrative assistants. Our instructional assistants on the full PD days, that's not a contractual day, but we always welcome them as a volunteer opportunity, and many of them, including Cindy, always attend. So it's a great opportunity for them as well. So if you can see, it's almost like planning a wedding. It really is, because there's so many different individual pathways that we offer for our staff. So I just want to click on 27, page 27, which is an example for the nurses. So the nurses' schedule looks like this. They are going to the keynote in the morning, which is held by the Mid-Atlantic Equity Consortium, and again, I'll talk about that in a minute. From there, they had asked us specifically for some Narcan training, so we are providing that through the Cape Cod AIDS Association, and they're able to come in and train our nurses specifically on Narcan administration. Then they're going to have a PLC session, which is essentially a reflection session, which, again, we receive feedback every time we host a professional learning day, and our educators were asking us for time to reflect. Oftentimes you go to these events and you're learning, and then you're back in your classroom and you're like, wait, what did I learn? What do I do with this? How do I have time to figure out, to employ some of the new learning that I have? So we've started embedding these PLC reflective sessions during the day, so the nurses are going to that reflection session next to reflect on their learning from the equity session. And then in the afternoon, they're going to be doing a session with the Portrait of the Graduate with the high school. So if you have a time, again, at 3 o'clock when you're up and you're not sleeping and you want to see all the different ways that the different the roles have on that day, please take a look, and because it's quite impressive. Again, the committee does a great job collecting information for our teams, knowing what our teams need, trying to find the resources for it to hold just individual sessions and personalized pathways on these days. So from there, I just want to connect, again, all this work revolves around our strategic plan. So I have 4 examples of different events that are happening that day and their connection to the strategic plan. So one of our goals in the strategic plan is learning and academics. It is a curricular excellence focus, and there's 3 sub-goals, I guess, in that goal that say that we are to utilize culturally responsive teaching strategies and diverse curricular materials to support various learning styles and needs, to continue to identify and address systematic disparities that contribute to the education and achievement disparities, and then to allocate resources to ensure that all students have access to high-quality learning experiences. So the keynote on November 10th is going to be hosted by the Mid-Atlantic Equity Consortium, that's MAEC. They are the ones that are also doing the equity audit for our district. As part of our partnership with them, at to no cost at this point to the district, we also get embedded PD from them. So the consultant is Jenny Portillo-Naku. She's worked with me and the team for a couple of weeks now on individualizing the keynote to meet the needs of Monomoy. We are finalizing the equity audit within this next week. So she already has an insight into some of our glows and grows that we may be seeing in the report that she's going to be publishing. So she is tailoring it to belonging, equity, and identity work. So it would be exciting. All the educators on that day will be attending a keynote either in the morning or the afternoon. Everybody will have a reflection session on it as well. The second one I just want to point out is again under the learning and academics and curricular excellence goal. It's about integrating literacy and mathematics across all disciplines with effective instructional strategies, evidence-based resources, and professional development for all educators. So a lot of the sessions that you'll see in that catalog have to do with our implementation of our iReady math curriculum. We are implementing from grades K to 5, and we're piloting now 6 and 7. So all of those educators will be attending sessions specifically to effective implementation of that new curricular resource. And then we also made a significant change this year from the NWEA MAP diagnostic in reading and mathematics to the iReady diagnostic for professional learning. And so the professional learning for that is from K to 8, and teams will be engaged with our partners from Curriculum Associates to engage in how to read data. What does the data mean for instruction? What do we do with data? And that movement to moving from a new platform to that new platform and making sure it's allowing us to employ information to have effective classroom practice. And then this one is again provided by the grants that I spoke to you about earlier this year, but it is again under curricular excellence, but this one is really focused on early literacy development through partnerships, and then to continue to identify and address systematic inequalities, specifically here targeting pre-K and early literacy and early childhood development. So, and then allocating resources to ensure all students have access to high-quality learning experiences. Again, part of the grant that we got was $95,000 grant. $67.5 or so is dedicated specifically to professional development. So we're getting this again to no cost at the district. It is more intense of a professional learning series than just one day. There's administrators are meeting bi-weekly with or bi-monthly with the consultants. We have a curriculum council that's meeting monthly with the consultants. We have a curate council that's meeting with DESE monthly. It's a multi-step professional learning series. Again, no cost to the district, but we'll hopefully, and we're confident that will have us providing those high-quality early literacy outcomes for our students, and specifically related to pre-K. Pre-K sometimes is overlooked. You know, they've been asking for this work and asking to do these learning series for a while, and I'm just so excited we have the opportunity to just dedicate a series to them. And then lastly, one of our favorite ones that we are going to be engaged in is for the goal for the portrait of the graduate implementation. And again, we are currently implementing the POG competencies in all of our curriculum work, but there is the sub-goals of offering ongoing professional development for our educators to equip them with the tools and the strategies needed for effective implementation, to foster collaboration and learning communities among our educators, and then to engage students and educators in understanding what the Portrait of the Graduate actually is. So the high school is hosting a session with some middle school groups and some elementary groups to kind of review, reconnect, and redesign what they've been doing. They're going to collect the information and all the work that they've been doing. They're going to start aligning it to a capstone, and then they're going to be feeding that information backwards, and we're hoping to have a capstone at grade 12, grade 7, and grade 4 at all of our transition years that actually reflect the Portrait of the Graduate competencies. So finally, I would love to invite you all to one of the two keynote events with MAEC and the Equity PD. It will help, expand your professional learning as school committee members in the area of dignity, equity, and identity. We have an 8:30 session and a 12:30 session. You have the locations in your professional development catalog. And we just want to thank you again for your ongoing support of all this. Like I said, it's almost like planning a wedding. There's lots of consultants. As you can imagine, consultants cost a lot of money. We were lucky enough to find a lot of grants this year, and we will continue to pursue grants to support this professional development, but we know that's in the operating as well, and we just thank you for your continued support. So join us on Monday.
Any questions?
Quick one.
Sure.
Robin, is there any Narcan on the school for any training?
I don't know. Yes, I think so.
There is. Yes.
And I would assume if they want to be trained that we have something.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin.
Next on our agenda is reporting out from our executive session from October 9th. On October 9th, the committee met to discuss a Level 3 grievance regarding the retirement benefit sick leave buyback incentive. And what came out of that meeting is the committee voted unanimously to deny the Level 3 grievance with 6 votes against and 2 abstentions. And we reaffirmed this decision, or we are reaffirming this decision tonight in public session. Any questions, comments? Okay, moving right along to our superintendent search update. We met last Monday as a screening committee. We had an open meeting law training for all of the members on the screening committee, and we discussed the procedure and the timeline of the superintendent search. We were tasked when we left to begin to develop questions that we want to bring to the interviews, and we will meet again next Monday, the 10th, to discuss the questions and come up with a final list of questions to ask the candidates. And the application is out. It's on the mask.org website, and people are applying. Any questions, comments? Okay. Moving right along to subcommittee representative and liaison reports. I pretty much gave you the information so far for the superintendent search, so we will move right along to the superintendent's report.
November is Native American Heritage Month, when we give special recognition to the significant contributions of the first Americans made to the establishment and growth of the United States and to our region in particular. The name of our district is derived from Monomoy, a Wampanoag term meaning a mighty rush of water, and from the Monomoy, one of the villages of the Wampanoag Nation. We honor and acknowledge that our schools are located upon the traditional lands of the Wampanoag people and pay our respect to members past, present, and future. I'd also like to provide an acknowledgement that this past Friday, Principal Kelly at Chatham Elementary School received a email from the commissioner, or not the commissioner, from the Secretary of Education in Massachusetts, and he was inviting Principal Kelly and a team from Chatham Elementary School to a Celebrating Academic Success Conference that's being held for the select group of schools in Massachusetts that have had both their MCAS math and MCAS literacy scores now reach and exceed pre-pandemic levels. So congratulations to Chatham Elementary and the staff and students there. I also had the wonderful opportunity just a couple days ago to announce our October Staff Shout-Out Award. It was given to Jack Dunford, a custodian at Harwich Elementary School. Jack was nominated by a colleague and a caregiver, and that individual said that Jack went out of his way to fix the merry-go-round on the preschool playground, allowing the children to be able to play on their favorite playground equipment. He was thanked by the children and deserves to be recognized for his cheery and always willing to help attitude. And then another individual wrote, both of my kids love that Jack takes the paper bags from certain lunch options and make characters out of them. My kids tell me how nice he is, and how much they enjoy this little thing that he does to make it special. You can go onto our website and see photos and video of the presentation of the Staff Shout-Out Award to Jack. One of the neat things that day was just how excited the students were at the cafeteria when we were presenting this. Jack was a rock star. He got a rock star applause from the students. Staff members can be nominated by students, parents and caregivers, and colleagues for outstanding positive contributions to our school at www.monomoy.edu/staff shoutout. Nominations for November are now open. Any staff members nominated previously can be nominated again, except for those already honored this year. And lastly, this morning, our high school held its fall celebration of excellence, where students were honored for achievement in Project Lead the Way engineering classes, the National Latin Exam, the John and Abigail Adams Scholarships, the AP Scholars Awards, and more. Of note was that one of our students scored in the top 50,000 students in the U.S. on the PSAT, earning him status of National Merit Scholarship commended student. Congratulations to our high school senior, Tyler Fleischman, for this impressive recognition. You can read more about the awards on our website.
Excellent. Any comments, questions? All right, we have had the presentation of warrants, so I am just looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Excellent. We will adjourn at 6:57. Have a good evening, everyone.